Hello, good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this broadcast on this lovely evening. My name is Adi from Sabah, and I will be your host for tonight. I hope that everyone is doing fine and always keep everything clean. And on behalf of the Jesselton Philharmonic Orchestra, we would like to extend a warm welcome to everyone who is tuning in to our broadcast tonight. For more info about the JPO, please go to our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter page. And don't forget to press the like and follow button. For Zoom attendee, please answer the following poll so that our next broadcast experience could be improved. If there is any question that you would like to ask our guests tonight, please write it down at the Q&A below, or for YouTube live viewer, type it out at the comment section. JPO are very honored to be able to invite Mr. Dino Akira Decena with the topics Chamber Music at Home and Music for Healing. Accomplished and celebrated violinist, Dino Akira K. Decena came from a family of musicians. His formal training started at the age of 5 under the tutelage of Mrs. Rosario Cruz. At the age of 7, he was granted scholarship by the Philippine Research for Developing Instrumental Soloists to train under the world-renowned violinist Professor Basilio Manalo. In 1987, Mr. Decena won first prize in the National Music Competition for a young artist. In the same year, he became the featured soloist of the produced orchestra under the baton of Mr. Manalo. Mr. Decena's early education and precocious talent propelled a prolific musical career. In January 25, 2013, Mr. Decena premiered the first violin concerto of Mr. Ryan Cayabyab in the 25th anniversary of the Philippine Philharmonic Orchestra. Committed to expanding his ever-growing musical knowledge, Mr. Decena finished his Bachelor of Music degree at the University of Santo Tomas under the direction of Professor Gina Medina. At the present, he is finishing his master's in chamber music at St. Paul, Manila. Mr. Decena is also deeply involved in educating and mentoring young musicians. He is currently a violin professor at St. Paul University, Santa Isabel College of Manila, and St. Scholastica's College of Manila. He is the violin teacher of the children of the pastor of Maranatha Christian Academy in Manila. Currently, he is the concertmaster of the Philippine Philharmonic Orchestra, the nation's leading symphony orchestra. Now, without further ado, let us invite Mr. Dino Akira Decena for the interview. Hello, Mr. Dino. Can you hear me?
Hi, good evening.
Hi,
Good
good evening, Mr.
evening.
Dino. Hello.
Yes, yes.
How are you, Mr. Dino?
I'm very fine. Thank you for asking. Yes, nice to be here. And thank you
Uh,
for having me as your guest.
Most welcome. And okay, we heard two lovely video at the introduction of this broadcast. Can you tell us more about the two video we have seen at the beginning?
Oh, okay. So the
Mhm.
first one is the video Esqualo that's composed by Astor Piazzolla. That was uh, the players are all members of the Philippine Philharmonic Orchestra. So
Mhm.
we organized this video to contribute to our series of series concert for music for healing. That's a program which the Philippine Philharmonic Orchestra
Mhm.
shows in Facebook. And then the second video is from composed by Nicanor Abelardo, a national
Mhm.
artist for music. Uh, this is a very popular violin piece here in Manila.
I see. Okay, now let's move on into the interview question. Um, can you tell us more about the members of your family and what instrument they play?
Okay, so
Mhm.
me and my wife, we played both violin. As for my children, the two I have two sons.
Okay.
The eldest is in college already. He's taking up music production in Benilde, LaSalle Benilde. He
Mhm.
plays violin, piano, and saxophone. And then my
Wow.
youngest play violin and piano. My both of my children are a student of Professor Gina Medina. Yeah. So that's it.
Okay. So three of your family members, including you, are were under the tutelage of Professor Gina Medina.
Yes, 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 yes,
Wow.
yes.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay, for the next question, how do you choose the pieces to be played by your family considering the different age and playing levels?
Yes, but okay.
Mhm.
Now, so what I do is we make sure that we think of my my youngest because he's the
Okay.
beginner. So first, the it should be uh, appealing to the kids. Second, it should be for general crowd for of all ages. And third, especially it should be for family. So the audience of the piece, I'm thinking of three. So kids, for the general, for the all of ages, and
Mhm.
for family. Fourth, I have to make sure that the piece is charismatic. No, so it should be very appealing and very cute because it involves children.
Mhm.
Uh, then I have to think of the level of or the difficulty of the piece. So I have to tell my eldest because he's the one in charge of the arrangement. So not too easy, not too difficult. If it's too easy, it will become boring for our youngest.
Mhm.
If it's too difficult, it will be hard for my wife and my youngest. So because my wife is she's a hobbyist, but before
Mhm.
she is a music violin major, but
Mhm.
now she's a banker.
I see.
na and then now and then afterwards, when we finally came up to all of this, the member of the family needs to vote.
Mhm.
So, for example, if we choose this piece, all the members of the family should vote if is it okay to play or should we choose for another one. So it should if we vote for okay and then it's approved, then we go for it.
I see. So, oh, now let's move on to question number one again. So, all of your family members played the violin, isn't it?
Yes.
So, at home, how is the composition of the instrument? You play the violin, your wife play the violin or violin too,
Yes.
and then
Yes, and I also play the viola.
I
So
see.
if we arrange something,
Hmm.
we can play. I'll play the viola. My eldest play the piano. My wife
I
played
see.
violin two, and then my
Hmm.
youngest played the violin one. For
Oh, I
classical
see.
music, we can at first because we have a beginner, so we have to uh, what we call this look for scores for it's that is okay for beginners
I
like
see.
we can play telemann for violins or we can
Hmm.
play if it's a bit higher level for that we can do vivaldi for violins, something like that.
I see. Okay. Now, so during this COVID time, yeah. So how long do you practice? Every day?
Oh,
Is it every day or
now
once
when
a
the
week?
pandemic starts, we
Mhm.
practice every day.
Every day.
So yeah, but we have to schedule it
Okay.
because being all musicians, we cannot practice at the same time because our house is not that big.
Okay.
So we have to schedule it. So every morning, my eldest practice the piano, and then afterwards, my youngest play the piano. Then
Mhm.
after he plays the piano, practices piano, he go to the room, he practice the violin. And then I'll stay in the living room to practice. Then
Mhm.
while my wife uh, cook for lunch, and then
Mhm.
afterwards I'll call for my wife, and then I'll teach him her part. Then afterwards I'll go to the room of my youngest to teach him his part.
Mm.
Uh, that's it.
So what about the group practice?
Now the group practice,
Mhm.
we usually set it at night,
Mhm.
so it will be colder. So and then before we do the group practice, we have to make sure that my youngest and all of the member knows their part so that we can enjoy. So
Mm.
we practice here in the living room,
Mhm.
and then afterwards we set for a goal for us performance. We have 2 weeks practice and then performance. Or our performance is video recording. So to record our performance. So I have to psychologically prepare my kids.
I
Hello, are you
see.
still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. I have to psychologically prepare them, and then
Mhm.
of course their parts also I have to prepare them, and then there's no problem with my eldest. He's a talented guy in our family. He can do whatever he can. He plays
I
in
see.
was it Boulder Buck competition, piano competition,
Mhm.
university level. So nice work, kuya. And then afterwards,
Mhm.
uh, uh, that's about it. We practice every day, every night. But before we practice the whole group practice, we have to practice our own parts first, so that it's
Mhm. True.
easier to practice together if we know the parts.
Mhm. Okay. If there is any question that you would like to ask our guest for tonight, please write it down at the Q&A below, or for YouTube live viewer, type it out at the comment section. Now, Mr. Dino, let's move on with the next question. What motivates the family to practice?
Okay.
Mhm.
For my eldest, it's easier because for him it's natural. It goes natural for him. But for my wife and my youngest,
Mhm.
hello, my
Yeah.
youngest needs to. I have to force him to practice.
Force.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
just kidding. I have to negotiate. Yeah, I have to
Okay.
negotiate. What's the? Uh, it's video games. I have to.
Ah, true.
Yeah. No. So okay, we have to practice. If you do this practice, I'll give you 30 minutes time for your video games.
Or is it like the more you practice, the longer you can play a game?
Yes, that's true. It's effective actually.
Oh, well, I hope he's not listening to this broadcast.
But
All right.
it's effective. And then
Mhm.
food. We talk about food afterwards. Hey,
I
everybody
see.
wants pizza,
Mhm.
so that's our motivation. Food. That's it.
What about you and your wife?
Me and my wife.
Mhm.
My wife. It's all food also, and
I see.
some jewelries. Just kidding. So I have to ask her, or I'll promise her to. Oh, I can buy you earrings, nice earrings later if we do this, yeah, like that.
I see. So there is like every result must have the reward, right?
Yes, yes, definitely.
All right. So with that, let's move on with the next question. What is the reward for playing chamber music with the family?
Uh, the reward
Mhm.
is simple: appreciation for from each other, the effort, the bonding time. You know what?
Mhm.
During this pandemic, yeah, it gave us opportunity to play together, to practice together. Before I'm always out doing rehearsal in the orchestra, teaching. I have no time to play with my kid. Now I have a lot of time to play with my sons,
I see.
to play music, to make music with my wife, to make music with my kids. For me that's rewarding already. Yeah, and then colleagues, friends, close friends appreciates what you do. They think it's a big thing, it's a big help because we have social media now, so it's
Mhm.
easy to reach people, to show them your video, your performance.
All right. Um, the family can play like what sort of difficulty level
Oh,
of a
well,
piece?
my youngest,
Mhm.
he is now in book 4, Suzuki. So
Wow,
he's
that's nice.
just learning Vivaldi concerto, the third movement of Vivaldi. But as of now, what I noticed because of
Mhm.
what's happening, quarantine, we stayed at home every day. We have more time to practice. The
Mhm.
his growth, his improvement are faster compared before. Before it takes really long to finish one piece, but now from book 3 to 4, right now he's almost finishing his book 4, so it's really
Mhm.
fast, and then my eldest, he had opportunity to practice and win the competition in boulder back. That's
Mhm.
a big, this really really big, it's you imagine the time he spent before practicing his back pieces. He spent like 6 hours practicing just to prepare for that competition. No, during this time, yeah, we can do that, but before we cannot because there are a lot of things to do. So
Mm, true.
there's a positive side on this pandemic if you just have to, and it's not all negative. You just have to look for positivity or
Mm,
on activity at home. You don't need to limit yourself just because you stay quarantined or you're staying at home. No, you have to look for something to make you busy. So I
I see.
think that's the biggest opportunity of this what's happening around us now.
That's true. Okay. Now let's talk about you, Mr. Dino, as a performer and also as a concert master. Um, what would you say is the most fulfilling aspect of being a concert master?
Uh,
Hmm.
I
What do
guess
you what
it's
do you think?
for me now. I'm very thankful that I got the position as a concert master. I auditioned for this and I'm very, very honored and privileged to be the concert master of the Philippine Philharmonic Orchestra.
Mhm.
Uh, Performing first chair is really not easy, but I think every violinist there outside, their dream is to perform. One of them is to perform first chair in the orchestra, and thankfully I got that opportunity, and also very thankful that uh, it gave me a chance to lead our nation's orchestra. So that's very, I'm really honored for that, and I'm really doing uh, my best to be to do the right thing for this job and to perform my best.
Okay. Now, from your biography, you started learning formally. Is it violin at the age of 5?
Yes, 5. Yeah,
So
my
is
grandfather and my, I'm sorry. Sorry, go ahead. Hello.
Okay, hello.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So the connection is a bit lag, I would say, it seems. Okay. Are you there, Mr. Dino?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay. So your formal education start at 5. So what I want to know is what started and what influenced you to learn more about violin playing?
Oh. I
Mhm.
came from a family of musicians, so my influence is my grandfather. But although my grandfather is a trumpet player,
Okay.
so my father, during that time, he's away. He's working in the outside. He's also a violinist, but
I
he's
see.
working in a ship, a cruise ship. So so the one staying for me, the one staying with me, and the one guiding me to be a musician is my grandfather. Imagine I learned to read notes first before I learned to read the alphabet.
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Just imagine that, right? So everybody's learning ABC, and I'm learning Do Re Mi, and then I'm learning to read it in B flat because my grandfather is a trumpet player, so his Do is B flat, right?
Yeah.
So and then he eventually teach me how to read in G clef, and then he teach me how to read in different clef. I guess it starts early. It start early in my family. Then afterwards,
Mhm.
I I become into it. I become passionately attached with the violin, and looking for I remember during when I was a kid, I look for tapes, the tape recorders, the tape recordings. I look for better recording of Tchaikovsky concerto,
Mhm.
Paganini, Mozart. But during the time, all of these are so limited. So
Mhm. True.
I asked my parents to buy recordings for listening. Yeah.
So
That's
I
it.
guess it's some kind of cassette. It's before MP3, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Walkman.
it's
We
cassette,
call it Walkman.
Walkman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have to, those ball pens. So to save batteries, we
Mhm.
have to put the ball pen inside and then to rewind so we can
Yeah.
listen to it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, and again, it's about you again. It's about your performance life. Is there any memorable concert that you have experienced your whole life?
Oh, a lot.
Mhm. A lot?
Uh, uh, First time to perform as a concert master outside
Okay.
uh,
Mhm.
the Philippines is when Mr. Fukumura, our music director, brought the Philippine Philharmonic in Japan and then played with the Gunma Orchestra. So
Okay.
that's one of the most memorable. It's so I'm really so nervous that time. You know, playing with the Japanese orchestra. The highest level of perfection, the highest level of uh, playing. Oh, it's really, really, really nerve wracking.
Nerve
But
wracking.
after the performance, like, whoa, it's so, thank you. Yeah, what a big relief.
Relief. I see.
Yeah, that's
So,
what's one.
how many members from the PPO went with you at Japan? Is it
It's like
everyone?
60, 70, 60, 70.
I see.
Yeah. And then after that performance, we played in the Tokyo Opera Hall. That's we are featured in the now that this picture is in a different concert. This
Okay.
one is in Asia Resonance. So what I'm telling earlier is that the one in Tokyo Opera Hall. That's we were featured in the Tokyo in the Orchestra Festival. This one is funded. This picture is from sponsored or organized by the Japan Foundation and Association of Japanese Symphony Orchestra. They the money from there together with other or from Jakarta, Myanmar, and
Mhm.
Vietnam. That's also experience as a oh. So
Somehow
that
the
that
internet connection is a bit bad. Mhm.
okay, okay. I will repeat it again. So this picture is the picture is in Maestro Kenichiro Kobayashi.
Mhm.
This is organized by the Japan Foundation and the Association of Japanese Symphony Orchestra. So they invited the Philippine Philharmonic to Philippine Philharmonic Orchestra to perform there, together
Mhm.
with the orchestras from Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, Myanmar. So this very big event, the title or the name of the event is Asia in Resonance.
Asia in resonance. Such a good, what should I say? It's a good title, catchy title. Asia in
Yeah, it's really
resonance.
catchy. It's a big production. I remember they also invited
Mhm.
high school band, school band, brass band. Oh my,
Mhm.
they're really good. They're really good. They played with us in Aida, Verdi's Aida. So the tom, pa, pa, pam, pam, imagine those, and then the children's playing it at the back of the stage. Oh, it's really magnificent.
Such a nice experience you have there.
Thank you.
Mhm. All right. Now let's move on with the next question. Yeah, for the interview. Now,
Sure.
can you tell us more about music for healing?
Okay.
Mhm.
Music for Healing is a Philippine Philharmonic Orchestra's program. We have a packet series, three concerts inside the series. So uh, by your side, PPO by your side, PPO in your living room, PPO in your
Mhm.
workplace. No, the main purpose or the objective of this program is for you know for the what's this to help our frontliners, people who are sick or afflicted with COVID, or the relatives who are dealing with, helping them, uh, people with pain, emotionally and psychologically and spiritual. So I think this is the response of the Philippine Philharmonic uh, to help the society, social response to help the people, to cope or to what's this to to cope with the situation. With this, not necessarily, helping them is hmm? Yeah. So I'm sorry.
Mhm. It's
So
okay.
what I mean is uh, music for healing is just it's to help them give music, to play, to give them music that they can uh, uh, that they can relax, that they can the music that motivates them, music that encourage them, music that what's this mm, address physical, emotional, and spiritual ailments. Now we call that music in therapy. So that's like
Mhm.
music therapy, which means anybody can use music at various levels to address physical, emotional, and spiritual ailments. That's it.
I see. Okay. Let's see. How do you choose your pieces?
Now, choosing the pieces are really, really hard, but
Mhm.
it doesn't need to be classical. All we have to do is to choose piece that most likely relate to people. So it can be a pop song, it
Mhm.
can be Broadway, it can be a slow rock, as long as it rings a bell to them, and they when once they hear that they can relate it. And then of course it doesn't only target people in the hospitals. This music program or the repertoire is not only for the frontliners, no, but also for the relatives of doctors, the parents, the ordinary people who's standing outside waiting
Mhm.
for something. Uh, our our relatives, our friends, the drivers, the vendors. It should approach them. You know, it should touch them.
I see. Okay. Mr. Dino,
Yes, sir.
how about the COVID situation in Philippines right now?
Oh,
Mhm.
it's still high.
Still high.
The cases are like 2,000. Yeah, around that 2,000. It's quite high a day, right?
A day.
Yeah. So we are praying that hopefully should go down. I hope. I pray.
Mhm.
But that's good already because last month the cases are from 5,000.
5,000. Is
Yeah.
it on September, isn't it?
Yeah. So now it's 2,000. But still, we are still in quarantine.
Mhm.
We go out uh, studying at home. Now we do home studying. The school of the kids, we have no school. I
Mhm.
mean, we don't go to regular school to have classes. We stay at home. For me, I teach in a conservatory, so I stay at home. I do Zoom lessons. So that's
Mhm.
why we have that program in PPO, so that what's important is the orchestra is still the Philippine Philharmonic is still visible, meaning we perform. So we use the social media platform as our stage to perform. I really hard to get back in the stage right now because
Mhm.
I don't think we can get back to playing in the stage until the end of the year. But hopefully next
Mhm.
year we can play already. Yeah, that's why we're doing this also. We also have chamber music series, but you know what we do is we group into small. The orchestra members group to in small groups. So from duet to quintet to septet. That's it. And then we have to schedule our rehearsals. So we have to play with mask and face
Mhm.
mask, and then we have to do physical distancing. We as much as possible we are helping not to spread the
Mhm.
virus, so we have to as Filipinos, we have to abide that. We have to follow it strictly. But I guess it's not good enough because the cases are still high. Hopefully, it goes down. No?
Mhm. Okay, now let's go for the last question for this interview for tonight. The Jesselton Philharmonic Orchestra is an organization with limited funding, which conducts activities like outreach program. What advice would you give to us beside organizing concerts, workshops, and music camp? And what is your view on our program like this?
Okay, the your program, the Jesselton program, is really good. This is very uh, uh, helpful for to the society. Now, my suggestion, my opinion, I guess maybe you can do master classes online,
Mhm.
yeah, and then probably host a competition.
Competitions.
Ask
Mhm.
private sectors or maybe local businessmen, or probably if you have Rotary clubs there, and ask them for sponsorship for to host a string competition or
Mhm.
orchestra instrument competition. And thirdly, probably be visible in social media. So I think like a simple recital or maybe a segment of you playing a piece and then airing
Mhm.
in Facebook will help the people. Will reach the people. So a lot of people can uh, we can touch a lot of people. That's it.
All right. Thank you for your question answer. Okay.
Yeah,
Now, that's it for the interview for tonight. Let's move on with the Q&A section. Yeah. All
sure.
right. So there is some question from anonymous, doesn't tell his name or her name. Okay, so first one. Hi, how do you manage your time between work in PPO and universities, performance and family? And do you have problem adjusting or arranging time for practicing at home?
Oh, actually, it's not a problem juggling the time, right? Because nowadays it's really don't leave home. We're all
Mhm,
here
mhm.
at home, so rehearsing rehearsing with the orchestra. I do my own rehearsal. I do my own practice, and then we spend like 3 hours on rehearsing in the orchestra for the chamber series. We go to cultural center, spend 3 hours there to rehearse, and then afterwards, in the afternoon, I teach. I teach here at home. So
I
together
see.
with my family. So sometimes my youngest, what are you doing, Dad? Oh, I'm teaching. Oh, who's your student? It's like that, bubbly boy, So and then I have time now, more time with my family now.
I see. All right, let's move on with the next question. May I know what is your opinion on teaching your own children music?
Uh they should get uh, a, a, they should have a teacher. My rather other than the parent, you know. It's I know it's really hard to teach your kids, your own kids, but it's really helpful to have a teacher when you have your kid have a teacher, and then follow the teacher. So I know I'm a teacher also, but I have to abide. I have to follow my son's teacher. So when he's practicing, I also observe. I also listen to his lesson, and then I'm the one uh, guiding him to his practice. But kids nowadays, they're very opinionated. They always tell me, does that the teacher what she doesn't want that, she wants this.
Mhm.
I have to explain it to them. But at the end, the one will rule is the teacher of the kid.
All right. Now let's move on with the next question. Could you share with us your daily task or things that you have to do as a concert master, and how many practices the orchestra normally has before putting up a concert?
Okay. Normally, the PPO have a week or 2 weeks of
Mm-hmm.
rehearsal before the concert. Now, my task as concert master is to make sure that all of the members are doing their job. It's like a police, I have to please
Mm-hmm.
them. And then I have to talk to the conductor. I have to follow
Mm-hmm.
the instruction of the music director. And sometimes it's hard to coordinate because some of the members doesn't want to follow uh, or they have their own opinion, but I make sure they do sectionals. So we do sectionals, and then afterwards I relay the instruction of the conductor. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
doing some police work. That's it.
All right. Following up with the question, the same question, and how many practices the orchestra normally has before putting up a concert?
Like the practices are like 8 days practice.
8 days.
That's only half a time. So we start 9:30 to 1. So
Mm-hmm.
from Tuesday to Friday. So 2 weeks of Tuesday to Friday. So and then the last day, Friday, is the performance. So it's like that.
I see. So, do you have like online concert or something, Mr. Dino? Dino?
Now, no.
Mm.
What we have now is those packet, the music for healing packet series that we have that. So what we do is we record our pieces at home and then send
Mm.
it to a music or music engineer to edit it, and then they're the one responsible to air it in Facebook. Now
I see.
we're preparing for the chamber music series to in uh, what do you call this? Because we cannot play as an orchestra, so we
Mhm.
have to do small groups to what's this? Alternate, yeah, to alternate the orchestra series. So we decided to do chamber series, chamber group series. Yeah.
I see. All right. For the last question for the Q&A, what is the most challenging part of your musical journey and how you overcome that?
My musical journey,
Mhm.
practicing, you know, really, because you have to force yourself
Mhm.
to even though you don't feel like practicing, you have to really force yourself to practice, and then you have to maintain your chops. But that's a
Mhm.
good thing about being a musician.
True,
It's
no?
it's a it's a perpetual learning, meaning
Perfect.
it's non-stop learning. So so I have to do a lot of hours practicing. Yeah, preparation is it's really for 1 hour or 45 minutes of performance. The preparation is really long,
Mhm.
so it takes really long time of practicing to do to play a concerto or to play a symphony. And overcoming your controlling your nervousness in the stage. Those when you're in the stage and then when you become nervous,
Mhm.
you have to control it. Otherwise, you won't be able to play. That
True.
nerve, you have to control the nerve. So it also takes studying. It also takes practicing controlling the nerves.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I guess.
So, do you reward yourself after each
Oh
concert?
yes. Oh yes, definitely. After concert, I reward myself.
With
You
what
know,
exactly?
I reward myself with food and beer.
Wow, okay.
Food, a lot of food actually.
A lot of food.
Yeah.
That's a good reward.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really. You know, there are a lot of good restaurants here in Manila. So, yeah. After the
Oh, okay.
performance, you're really, really hungry. So, after all, you have
Mhm.
to eat.
Would love to come one day after the COVID ends.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
Mhm.
sorry, sir. You go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I am waiting for that really. You know, it's
Mhm.
it's been a long time since us, a family, eating outside, eating in
Mhm.
a restaurant.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know, musicians. Musicians like me. You know, we love to eat, especially after performance, and be jolly.
Mhm. All right. This is the end for tonight's broadcast. All right, everyone. We had come to the end of tonight's broadcast. For those who are waiting for your answer, I guess there's no more question left to be answered. Uh, okay. If you want to rewatch and listen to this broadcast again, it will be available after this broadcast ends. The recording of this live broadcast will be available for you to watch at our YouTube page. We are doing this broadcast with other topic every Wednesday and Sunday. Thank you so much for tuning into this broadcast. Thank you for all the question and thank you everyone for making this broadcast to happen. That's it for tonight. Be safe and be healthy. Do stay at home. I will lead the prayer for tonight's program. Please pray in whatever faith you believe in COVID-19. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma inni a'udzubika minal barsi wal junani wal jizami wa min sayyil askam. Oh Allah, I seek your refuge from leprosy, insanity, mutilation, and from all serious illness. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La yadhuru ma ismi syai'un fil ardi wa wala fis sama'i wa huwa al-sami'ul alim. In the name of Allah, with whose name nothing on the earth or in the heaven can cause harm, and He is the all-hearing and the all-knowing. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi washabihi wasallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. And again, the JPO would like to thank Mr. Dino Akira Decena for being with us tonight. Mr. Dino, thank you again for
thank,
being with us.
thank you very much. It's an honor to be here.
Mhm.
It's an honor to have for having me. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. All right, everyone, good night and see you all next time. Magandang gabi.
Thank you.